Hello aspirants, I welcome you all on the YouTube channel of ANALYST IAS. Our today's topic for topic Decodified is the India-Egypt relations. We will see why in news, what is the historical background, what are the areas of cooperation, what are the concerns related to the relations, then we will come to our way forward. After that, we will see the prelims practice question and the mains practice question as well. So we'll start with the topic why news. Recently, on the occasion of the 74th Republic Day, which was on 26th of January, the President of Egypt, Sisi, was invited as the chief guest at the parade. This is the first time that an Egyptian president has been accorded this honor. India and Egypt are celebrating 75 years of establishment of diplomatic relations this year, and Egypt has also been invited as a guest country during India's presidency of the Global 20. Now, what is the historical background? India and Egypt, two of the world's oldest civilizations, have enjoyed a history of close contact from ancient times. Ashoka's edict referred to his relations with Egypt under Ptolemy II. In modern times, Mahatma Gandhi and the Egyptian revolutionary Saad Zaghloul shared a common goal on independence from British colonial rule, and the two nations made a joint announcement of the establishment of diplomatic relations at the ambassadorial level 3 days after India became free. Now, what are the areas of cooperation? First is the trade. Bilateral trade between India and Egypt achieved a record high of $7.26 billion in 2021 to 22. The trade was fairly balanced with 3.74 billion Indian exports to Egypt and 3.52 billion imports from Egypt to India. You can just try to note down the data or take the screenshot, as this can be useful in your mains answer writing. The India-Egypt bilateral trade agreement has been in operation since March 1978 and is based on the most favored nation clause. Then investment. More than 50 Indian companies have invested around $3.15 billion in diverse sectors of the Egyptian economy, including chemicals, energy, textile, garments, agricultural related businesses and retail as well. Egyptian investments in India are to the tune of $3.7 million, which includes smart electrometers, car paints, IT services, etc. The grants in 8 projects include Pan-Africa Telemedicine and Tele-Education Project in Alexandria University, then Solar Electrification Project in Agaween Village and Vocational Training Center for Textile Technology in Shobra, Cairo, which have been completed. Now, there are also cooperation during the hard times of the COVID. In 2022, despite restrictions on export of wheat, India allowed shipments of 61,500 metric tons to the Egypt. From India, Egypt is seeking investment in infrastructure including metro projects, a Suez Canal economic zone, a second channel of the Suez Canal, and a new administrative capital in the Egypt. Egypt also sent medical supplies and doses of antiviral remdesivir injection to India during the second COVID-19 outbreak. Here, Egypt requires wheat due to the Ukraine and the Russia war, and due to various sanctions, Russia is unable to send it and Ukraine is also not exporting it. Therefore, India just came forward with this. Now, there are some cooperation in defense sector as well. Egypt is interested in procuring defense equipment from India, which includes LCA Tejas missiles like Akash, DRDO smart anti-airfield weapon and radars. This is being developed as a part of defense industry cooperation. Egypt is the 8th country in the Middle East to enter a defense agreement with India after Iran, the UAE, Qatar and Saudi Arabia, Oman, Israel and Jordan. The first ever joint exercise between the special forces of the Indian Army and the Egyptian Army, named Exercise Cyclone 1, is in progress at Jaisalmer, Rajasthan since 2023. Try to remember the name, Exercise Cyclone 1. Now, what are the concerns? India and Egypt are worried about the spread of the terrorism happening around the world, and they are unanimous that terrorism is the most serious security threat to humanity. Misuse of cyberspace to spread extremist ideologies and radicalization is a growing menace. China's bilateral trade with Egypt is currently at $15 billion, double that of India, 7.26 billion in 2021 to 22. Sisi, who is the president of Egypt, has been wooing Chinese investments and has traveled to China as many as 7 times in the last 8 years. Now, what is the way forward? Relations between Egypt and India have a lot of unrealized potentials. The opening with defense exercises is also a good platform to further future developments, access to fulfill Egypt's defense requirements. Then, concerned action is necessary to end cross-border terrorism, and they will have to together alert the international community. Now, here is the geographical location of the Egypt. This one is the Suez Canal. It have a very strategic location near the Mediterranean Sea or the Middle East. Now we will come to our today's prelims practice question that consider the following statements regarding the Financial Action Task Force. First is what established by the group of 7 G7 summit. It is the global money laundering and terrorist financing watchdog. India is a member of jurisdiction of the FATF. Which of the following statements is correct? You can pause the video here and type the answer in the comment section, because I will give you answer in this same video as well. So you can pause it right now. Now we will come to our today's mains practice question, that what were the events that led to the Suez crisis in 1956? How did it deal a final blow to Britain's self-image as a world power? Now we will come to our today's question. So answer of this question is all correct, as FATF was established by the G7 and it is also a watchdog for global money laundering, and India is also a permanent member since 2010. This was all about today's video. Stay tuned. Have a nice day.